Hello viewers, hope you're doing well. Today in this video, I'm going to call get and delete book API in our React.js application. So let's get started. Let's navigate to the VS Code. As you can see, a dashboard component for an admin. So inside this function, let me create a use state for a books. Let me initialize this with the use state and it will be a type of an empty array. Let me copy the use state for a loading. After that, we have a use navigate hook. After use navigate, we have a use snack bar hook. Let me add inside the admin dashboard component. Now I'm going to import here use navigate and the use snack bar from a notice stack. Now after that, let me copy this function. Let me add inside the admin dashboard component. So the function name that we have handle delete book. Inside the argument, it will get an ID. Now inside this function, let me remove this line. As you can see, we are calling here the use state that we have loading to set a value true. After that, we have a try catch and the finally block. The catch block will catch an exception in case of API failing, where we have a snack bar with the caption getting error while deleting book. After that, we have a finally block that will use to set the loading to false. Now inside the try block, we have to call the function from a admin service that is a delete book. So let's go to the admin service. Let me duplicate this function. The function name that we have delete book. Inside the argument, it will get an ID. Now inside this function, we have a try and the catch block. The catch block will catch an exception in case of API failing, and we have to throw here the error. Now inside the try block, we have to call here the instance and the mapping that we have delete. So the URL of this endpoint that we have /API/admin/book/ID. Let me remove this object and we have to return the response. Let me duplicate this function. Now I'm going to setting up the function for a get books. Let me remove this. Now inside this function we have a try and the catch block. So let me call it the instance and the mapping that we have get. After that, let me update the path that we have /API/admin/book, and we have to return the response. So let's save this. Let's go back to the admin dashboard component. Inside this function, I'm going to call the function from a admin service that we have delete book. Inside the argument of this, we have to pass here the ID. We are saving the API response into this variable that we have response. After getting the response, we have to check if the response.status is equals to 200. Then we have to show here the success snack bar with the caption book deleted successfully. Let me duplicate this function. Now I'm going to setting up a method for a fetch books. So let me update the function name that we have fetch books. Let me remove this. Inside this we have a try catch and the finally block. Inside the try block, we have to call the function from the admin service that we have get books. After getting the response, we have to check here the status. If the status is 200, then we have to call here the use state that we have set books. Inside the argument of this, we have to pass here response.data. Inside the catch block, let me add here console.error to print the error message in the console. So it will be a error.message. After that, we have a finally block that we'll use to set the loading state value to false. We have to call this function inside the use effect hook. So let me create here the use effect hook. Inside this, we have to call it the function that we have fetch books. This function will call when the component mount. Let me duplicate this function, update the function name that we have, handle update book click. Inside the argument, it will get an ID. Now inside this function, let me call here the navigate instance. Inside this, I'm going to define the path for a update book component that we have /admin/book/id/edit. Now you can take a look of the admin dashboard component. Inside the use effect, let me add here an empty dependency array. Now let's go back to the browser. Let me open here the inspect. Let's go to the network tab. As you can see, the getBooks API call with the status code we got 200. OK. With this, we are getting here the response where we have a list of books. So that's all for now from my side. If you have any confusion, you can document. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.